Streaming.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
We hear you well. We're live and we're recording, so we're going to move you to the meeting room if that's okay.
Say that again, sorry.
Hi, Robert. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Yes. So we're live and we're recording, so we're going to move you to the waiting room if that's okay.
Okay, yep, that's absolutely fine, no problem. And I'll be sharing my screen as well, is that okay?
I think that should be fine. You'll have the rights.
Excellent.
Hello.
Hi, Nate. How do you say your first name?
Nejc.
Perfect.
So, or Nate. Nate is also okay.
That's fine. So we're going to be moving you to the waiting room. We're live right now and we're recording.
All right. So just a quick question.
Sure.
When it's my turn to speak, I go to the stage in spatial. I can share my screen here in Zoom and just talk.
I think
Okay.
what we did yesterday was everyone just spoke in Zoom and we had the audio and the live, these screen sharing happening in spatial automatically. So you'll get rights. You'll get rights on Zoom to screen share. And in case there's something different, we'll let you know before your talk. But yesterday we did everything in Zoom.
Perfect. Sounds wonderful. So I don't need to be in spatial at all?
As of now, you don't need to. But if something changes before your talk, we'll let you know.
Okay. So not even move the avatar anywhere. It's okay.
On the first day, we had to do the speakers in both locations. But yesterday, on the second day, we managed everything in Zoom.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. Thank you for joining us for the third day of the Fashion Metaverse Conference. We've had an amazing 2 days where we had speakers from the digital fashion space and the digital AI fashion space on day one. And we had a lot of speakers from the Web3 and the crypto space on day two. And today we've got essentially a lot of people who are more in the AI and the blend of AI and digital fashion today speaking. And the conference is, of course, the speakers are going to be logged in from Zoom, but the conference is going to be telecast on 3 different locations in spatial. And, we've shared the links on our various social networks, including LinkedIn. You can click on the links to enter. So there's going to be a part 1, part 2, and part 3, where the 3 different locations in spatial are. We have an amazing host of speakers today. We're starting with Robert Vicencio. Then we're going to go on to have a panel with Olska Green and Nataliya Grimberg. Again, everyone is going to be speaking about the new role that AI and generative AI has been doing in fashion. So in the second panel, we're going to be talking about fashion and sustainability. Then we have Nejc Susec with us, who's a top AI voice, who's going to again be speaking about creativity with the collaboration of human and AI. We're going to have a panel after that with Stella and, we're going to have a speech by Stella about the Alana project. And then we're going to go on to hear from Eleonora Brizi about blockchain as a medium. From there on, we're again going to have a very distinguished panel with Simon, YIQIN, Zoha, and Maya. And they're going to be talking about the latest trends in digital AI and Web3. We're going to be joined by Nova Lorraine from New York, and she's going to be talking about the future role of fashion in AI, especially how it's going to be shaping the metaverse. And then from there on, we're going to be hearing from Dr. Martha Birkenfield, who's been, legend in the space. She's going to be talking about life in a new reality. So a little bit about AR, VR, and about how AI is going to be shaping it. Then from there, we're going to be talking to Boris Gensel, who's a creative director in a very large fashion house. And he's going to be talking about the opportunities and challenges that generative AI poses, but with varied perspectives, because he's been a creative director and he's seen it from different angles. So he's going to be talking about both the challenges and the opportunities from different disciplines that he's been involved with. Then we're going to have Hugo Barrera, and he's going to be talking about from trash to the Vogue cover, so creating an AI fashion editorial. This is going to be very interesting. And then we're going to have a large panel of about 6 people, including Christopher, Rupert, Jens, Mikhail, Emmanuel, and Wildy. And they're going to again be talking about the role of AI in the creative arts, especially in fashion. And then we're going to be closing with Jens. He's going to be talking about digital fashion and AI as not just a creative design tool, but also a strategy tool. So like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a mix of an event between Spatial and Zoom. The speakers are going to be logged in from Zoom. And from there on, it's going to be live telecast in Spatial, and the links will be available not just on the conference website, but also on our socials, which is X, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So Isola, if it's okay, do I go ahead and introduce the first speaker? I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so the first speaker, I'm going to let him in. So just give me a second. So Robert's going to be joining us. His profile says he's joining from Shanghai, China. I'm not really sure where he's logging in from today. So we're just trying to add him into the call right now. Robert, do you hear us? Because I'm not sure if you've entered the call or not. Isola, we're having a little trouble getting Robert from the waiting room to the main Zoom room. I'm not sure if he's joined the main Zoom room. So while we wait, I'm going to be speaking a little bit about Robert and his profile. We'll probably repeat it once again when he rejoins. But Robert's he's like a creative genius in the space of fashion and entertainment. He's the creative director of RGV Productions, which is his own company. So he's the creative director and producer. He has about 25 years of experience in the entertainment industry. He's produced live theatrical events across China, mainlands. He's worked with global brands, global celebrities. He's a Web3 advisor, and he's also a founder of My Other Brain. So he's done a lot of interesting work in Web3, which is why we have him here today. Okay. Robert, can you hear us? I see you on the call, but I don't see your audio. Okay, we're having a little technical trouble here. We see Robert on the call, but we don't see his feed and we don't see his audio connecting through. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. I think we're facing a slight technical difficulty here because I think Robert's logging in from a remote location and we're not able to get through his connectivity. So meanwhile, do bear with us while we wait for Robert to log in.
Yes, so now we can also enjoy the space if you are in the spatial, and this is the space built by Matthew and Alexander for the Digital Pride Milano. And here, Matthew today has already prepared a very amazing avatar if you are attending our live. So you can claim it in your space and get it, and you have a very beautiful diversity of the avatar. And if you put a like on the space, you will get the wings. So we have a lot of free to claim during our event if you are here. So yes, when we are waiting, please enjoy the moment, and we are having our our speaker Robert very soon.
Isola, you're in spatial. I'm not. So you're probably enjoying the situation in spatial. How are you liking the spaces?
Yeah, it's really beautiful. So I know this project. We also joined force for the Digital Pride Milan, which we presented the artwork, and also our community was there. It was a really amazing place, and
All right, so we're going to wait for Robert to sign in. And like Isola mentioned, please take your time to look around the beautiful space that's been created for Pride Milan. And, sometimes when, when something technical gives us a challenge, it's always an opportunity for us to explore and, look at what's around us. And that's one big advantage of the metaverse, which a 2D platform doesn't do. Good afternoon, Robert. I hope we have you now loud and clear.
Just in terms of audio, let me just check. Hold on a second. Can you hear me well?
We hear you well, Robert. Thank you so much for logging in. We had a slight technical problem, but I think we're over that now.
Sure, I'm not double logged in. All right, so let me see if I can share my screen. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to probably do this on the mobile, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. All right, let me share my screen. Good.
So we lost your audio, Robert. I don't know if you can hear us.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, sorry. All right, excellent. Okay, let me play. Can you see my screen?
No, we don't. We see your video. We don't see your screen yet.
Okay. Let me, I've shared the screen. Interesting. It's showing that, okay, sorry, let me share screen. I've allowed Zoom. Yep. Allow permission. Okay. What can you see now?
We see your screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me get the PPT. All right. How's that? Are we good?
Looking good. Thank you.
Okay. Are we good?
Looking good.
All right. Shall I begin?
Yes, you may. I actually did introduce you. If you'd like, I can give a quick introduction.
Yes. No problem. I think if everyone's kind of heard me, as long as you can see me and hear me and see the screen, I think we're good. I can begin.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. So obviously the subject of my talk here very quickly is the disruption of AI in the entertainment industry. I think what's important is, let me just kind of go through my background a little bit. I'm probably a little bit different to a lot of the people's background here. So I did a musical called Miss Saigon all around the world, did 3,000 shows, started in Australia, then moved into London's West End. I did it there for 4 years and then did the first UK tour and the first Asian tour. So after doing Miss Saigon on stage, I did a movie called Jesus Christ Superstar with Andrew Lloyd Webber as one of the 12 apostles. This was the second iteration. We filmed it, I think, in 2000 in London's Pinewood Studios. Then after that, I did a movie called Arachnid, which was like a sci-fi thriller. We filmed in Spain, in Barcelona, and also in Mexico. And then moving on. So more recently, I did a very big project here in China, in particular Shanghai, Beijing, where we put together one of the biggest TV reality shows, probably the most expensive in China's history, costing around 4 billion RMB, and in which I was the consulting director and part of the team, the director that actually created the format. So maybe a lot of you don't know who this person is. Her name is Fei Wong. She's probably like the Whitney Houston of Asia. So she's quite massive, and I got to direct her. This face might be a bit more familiar. So I directed Sarah Brightman. What she's known for is obviously the original Christine in Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. But she also is quite well known in China, as she was the only foreign guest to perform at the Beijing 2008 Olympics. So I got to work with her and direct her here as well in the reality TV show. So these are just some pics of the show that we did, some behind the scene shots. And of course, all this will come together in a second in terms of the actual speech. So what we did is just, again, focusing on this a little bit, we combined musical, movie, and TV into one single format. And we literally built this studio. So you'll see the seats here, similar to what we're doing on the Metaverse kind of thing right now on Spatial. But here we had a live audience, we had a live orchestra, and then you'll see that big cinema, that big IMAX screen. When that lifts, behind that is this. You actually have an entire film world. So the concept was what you were watching on TV, like it was like a music video, full film team, cinematics was actually happening live, in one take behind that cinema screen. That's the concept of the show. Anyway, moving on. So a few other behind the scenes shots. So I've also worked, bringing along more to fashion, worked with a lot of brands. And one of the big brands that I worked on was with Bulgari. We did 2 years, and I did the live performance. So everything, 2 of their biggest shows they did in China, I was the director for the actual show part. So anything with actors or musicians and dancers is what I was working on and directing. And these are some of the shots that we did. And again, this was probably the biggest show that they've ever done outside of Rome. So here's some shots. We worked with a lot of amazing people. I had one of the cast of Sleep No More here in Shanghai. This is the team. Then I worked with Piaget, similar thing, more of an immersive experience, again, relating it to fashion. We, again, did more from the performance perspective and the immersive perspective of that particular event. Then I also directed a fashion show, one of the oldest Qipao brands. Now, Qipao, for those who may not know, it's basically the old kind of dress that they used to wear in Shanghai. So I directed the Shanghai Fashion Week, that particular brand in that particular show. And what a lot of people don't know is in 2016, quite a bit back now, Absolute vodka have a label, a fashion label called Absolute Label, and I was again the show director for their probably the biggest fashion show they had done in Shanghai at that time. Again, an immersive experience ending in a fashion show. So that was with Absolute Label. Now, going into where I'm talking to right now in terms of, what the subject matter is, AI obviously has played a huge impact recently, but I just wanted to kind of recall exactly where we'd come from in terms of performance, straight from Greece to obviously to Beijing Opera to the West End to Broadway. So a lot of these things that we deal with every day is in terms of the performance has been created obviously by humans. Now, before I kind of get into that, I also, of course, kind of relating to this talk is I did 2 TEDx, one in 2017 in Shanghai, and the other one last year. The other one last year in Suzhou. Again, talking about AI, the recent one. So yes, so one element. What is one element that hasn't changed over the centuries? Now, of course, this is a big topic and a big question that I wanted to kind of ask everyone out there. And let me just see if I can see over here. Okay, yeah. So I'm sure all of you got kind of an answer in your mind. And one of the things is, of course, it's us. So one thing that's not changed throughout the centuries is that we've been creating this content creatively with our own eyes, our mind, our hands, and it's always come from us, and of course, this is part of where we stand today. However, now with AI, we're standing what I believe is the precipice of a revolution. And I know all of us have kind of tasted it, and we're literally here in the metaverse right now on Spatial because we believe in this revolution or this change. So the creative process, and kind of looking at it from a deconstructed version, is what I'm really interested in. So everything starts with an idea, and then from that, and again, I'm talking more from film and theater, perspective, you get a synopsis, and then the treatment, and then the script, then the character breakdown, the scene breakdown, storyboard, character design, costume design, again, similar, connected to what we're here with the Fashion Metaverse Conference, prop design, art and set design. So all of these things, now I know this is quite basic and there's a lot of other elements that goes into creating a film or a TV show or a drama or a theater, but this is kind of like the basic. Now, I think the key thing here is if we really look at all of this, if I said every single one of these things, has actually, casting as well, post-production, let's keep going, sound effects, and music composition. Now, we all know right now today, there is an answer to this using AI. Okay, so again, ChatGPT, and again, a lot of this, there's definitely a lot of updates to this, but of course, ChatGPT can counter a lot of those or answer a lot of these areas in terms of the chat. But if I keep going here, you've got Croc.io that does storyboarding, and there's a new one called NVIDIA, DALL-E 2, which is now DALL-E 3. There's Midjourney, Leonardo.ai. There's a lot more of these apps. Stable Diffusion, again, costume design, same with those DALL-E 2, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Leonardo.ai, Opus.ai in terms of art and set design. And I'm just going to keep going as we go on, but the key here is that in every element, there is now an AI that can do what exactly has been done before in terms of creating, in terms of the elements, right? And we all have heard of Sora, the latest thing from ChatGPT, or from OpenAI, should I say, that can create these videos literally from a prompt. And this will only increase and only get better and better as we go again. And again, here with the casting. So, okay, just moving on. So one of the big things, and as again, we hear on Spatial, one of the big things is, of course, the casting in any kind of film or TV or show. And to me, I really do believe that metahumans is the future. I mean, just think about it. Maybe actors don't need to actually act anymore. They don't need to even go to these auditions. They just send their meta self or their digital self. And I think this is going to become more and more apparent in productions where, you know, one real actor could have multiple meta-human or meta versions of themselves that can perform in different ways for different shows, or again, films or roles, let's say. All right, moving on. So is AI good or bad for creatives? And I think this is one of the big questions perhaps a lot of us here are asking ourselves. And of course, for me personally, so for me personally, I think one thing's for sure, AI is not going anywhere. And I do believe that, you know, we need to embrace it, and which I think a lot of us probably here have, maybe some still questioning it, but definitely we need to embrace it. And I do believe that in the end of the day, no matter how good you are in AI, you still need that creative human element. And I always relate it to, I'm not a developer or a programmer, but I could of course ask ChatGPT, program me something, but do I know if there's a problem? Do I know if the final outcome is correct? And of course, the answer for me is no. But if you ask me to write a script and I say I use ChatGPT, I do know what I want at the end of the day. I can tell you where things are wrong, and I can adjust it, amend it, revise it, update it if necessary. And I think this is what I keep saying, AI is a superpower, and it's not taking over any human jobs, I believe, at least at this point. Hopefully it just helps us to do more things faster and quicker. Okay, moving on. So another question is from a writing creative perspective is, why would professional writers need to use AI? And, you know, again, I won't get into the story, but I've been trying to write a book for the past 15 years. And when ChatGPT first came out, I tested it and I said, okay, let me see what this AI could do. And I typed a few character names, a few titles of the book, the general outline of what I wanted. And the amazing thing is, in literally a few seconds or minutes, as I kind of prompted more, I had the complete synopsis, character scene breakdown of a 33-chapter book. Now, this to me is amazing. Something I'd been thinking about for 15 years, I literally generated in 5 minutes. And I think that's the power of AI. And I think I don't need to convince all of you guys out there. So what's the benefit? So everyone asks, what is the benefit of AI? And I think the biggest benefit of AI is saving time. So time is one thing, obviously we cannot get back, we can't buy it, we can't make it. Once it's gone, it's gone. So to me, if AI can save time, that is one of the critical benefits of AI. Okay, moving on. Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. Oh, sorry. All right, so AI, so to me, AI empowers. Let me, creatives. So the big question is, what's next? Okay, so virtual lands, digital property, digital twins, metahumans, meta content, DAOs and NFTs, VR, AR, and XR, and of course, AI. So all of these, I do believe the future is when all of these come together in one ecosystem. And of course, that is where I see the future of what we're doing, is of where we are and where we stand and where everything is driving to in the future, similar to a lot of these sci-fi films that we've watched before. Now, here's just a very quick quick snapshot of a lot of the different AI tools. And to be absolutely honest, this is already old, you know, and it's funny, when I did the AI talk for TEDx last year, literally in a couple of months, everything was outdated. So AI is growing and changing and updating in such an exponential way. All right, so so that's the future, and of course the key is where are you and where are we and how are we involved and how are we being part of this, what I call obviously the AI revolution. And of course I'm proud, happy to be here and to be here with all of you on Spatial here at the Fashion Metaverse Conference, to really be at the forefront of this kind of pioneering way for AI, Web3 and Metaverse. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Robert. I really appreciate you keeping to time. Although we had a technical problem, you did rush through it. So
my bad.
yeah, I appreciate that.
Let me see if I can
just let you know you're
stop
still,
sharing screen.
yeah, you're still sharing.
Yeah, let me. So yes, any questions? Let me stop the share. There it is. Done.
We don't get questions here on chat, but
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Sounds good. All good. Well, thank you very much, guys. I look forward to seeing the rest of the rundown for tonight.
Thank you very much, Robert. Appreciate you being here.
Okay, let me leave now. Oh.
Do we have Olska and Nataliya on the call?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Hi.
We are here. Yeah, we are here.
If you'd like to put your cameras on,
Yeah.
I think your panel is next, and we want to introduce you. Hello.
Hello, hello. Yeah, hello.
Hi.
So we have a
So
very good panel from both Olska and Nataliya. They're going to be talking about AI, fashion, and sustainability. Just for context, Olska is from Lisbon, Portugal, but I know she travels all over the world because I keep seeing posts of hers from all over. So I don't have no idea where you're logging in from right now, but I know you're a global citizen. She's the founder of YIQIN, basically a sustainable digital brand. She has 13 years of experience, and YIQIN is basically about eco-fashion, digital, and upcycling. We also have with us Nataliya Grimberg. She's from Prague, award-winning Metaverse strategist. She connects luxury brands with innovative Web3 companies. She's been featured in Business Wire, Dolce Vita, and Vogue, and a whole lot of other magazines. She's spoken at NFT Paris, NFT Prague, and the Metaverse Biennale, and a lot of other events. So, ladies, you have the floor, and you can go ahead and start your panel.
thank you so much for the introduction. So we will have some slides to share. So Olga, I think you can share the screen, and meanwhile I'll introduce what we plan to talk about today. The panel will be focused on the convergence of fashion, AI, and sustainability. We both, with Olga, have extensive work base, starting from traditional fashion backgrounds up to digital fashion and AI. And we want to go through all the iterations of fashion and technology that have been happening now and are going to happen in the future years. I think you can put the presentation on full screen now and start to present.
Can you see the presentation?
Yeah, we can see the Canva layout. So I think you can make the full screen. So it's a full screen experience.
Yeah, I did full screen, but not full screen, not visible. Yes, I did full screen, but it's not visible.
I think now it's changing.
No. Okay.
For me now, it's just the same light, but
maybe I will change the sharing. Maybe I will share everything. Okay, desktop. And now it's better?
Yes, perfect. Yes, and we see the video.
Mm-hmm.
So I can start the intro.
Yes, nice to meet you too. And yeah, we are I'm Olska Green. I'm founder of Olska, based in Portugal, innovative fashion designer. My expertise with the AI, VR, AR, and I also create sustainable upcycling collections. So we recycle used clothes, thrifted clothes, and it's our physical part. And digital part, we create phygital fashion shows with digital fashion shows with avatars, digital clothes, and integrated also with gaming. And our mission also to revolutionize the fashion industry, and we want to transform the whole fashion industry into sustainable and digital one and innovative one. And Nataliya?
Perfect. So I merge art, fashion, and technology, both IRL and in the metaverse. I create experiences and connect fashion and luxury brands with innovative Web3 companies. So for instance, I have curated the first ever VR Metaverse Fashion Week in Somnium Space, where we had a digital fashion show both in the metaverse and with physical models on the catwalk wearing body tracking and Tesla suits. I was also the first designer to implement 3D printing and AI into fashion for a Fashion STL Fashion Tech Award many years ago. I've created also the first ever AR and AI powered dress that was showcased during Mercedes-Benz Prague Fashion Week. And since we're talking about AI today, I've been creating my own AI engines before Midjourney and other AI, Gen AI tools were cool. So I was coding and programming, but I come from traditional fashion. So just as Olska, I know all the negative impact of the traditional fashion industry. And that's why we're here today to discuss how we can use AI to conquer that.
Yeah. And yeah. And also we can see fashion evolution. Of course, it's a lot of trends in the fashion, from mini skirts, 16s, hippie style, punk fashion, disco style, Y2K, streetwear. Every time fashion has trends, and now of course it's already even not just a trend, but it's already necessary and we need to apply AI everywhere. And you can see how digital fashion in even 2020s start to develop, and now AI fashion, it's just in the beginning for of course for mass adoption, and just beginning, but it's not just a trend, it's already the huge sphere in fashion industry, and we should implement it.
Absolutely. So as you've seen, the fashion's journey through traditional fabrics was a long one, but then it all started with the Industrial Revolution, where machines like looms and sewing machines started to help us to create clothes faster and cheaper. And this was basically the dawn of mass production, where fashion became something that everyone could enjoy, not just the elite. And then came the era of synthetic materials, nylon, polyester, you name it. And these new kinds of the block, they make clothes more durable, stretchy, affordable. And then fashion was getting a futuristic makeover, and we are all here for it, I think. With computer-aided design programs and online shopping, the fashion world went digital, and we were all glad to see the convergence of technology and fashion. As designers, we could whip up new styles in a flash with all the AI tools, and shopping also became as easy as clicking a button anytime, anywhere. For instance, I was online shopping today at 4 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. So yes, it's making the experience of fashion much more easy and even fun. So now in the 21st century, fashion has gone high tech with all the wearables, with smart fabrics. So I believe that clothes aren't just for wearing. They're obviously there for keeping you warm, but also we can track our fitness. We can track the amount of sugar in the blood, and in the future, I expect even more wearable technologies to come. And let's not forget about fashion's green turn towards sustainability. And we are all embracing eco-friendly materials. I've seen the beautiful algae produced sportswear that Olska has produced. So in short, fashion and tech have been an incredible journey, and we're all here for it to witness what's going to happen next.
Yes, yes. And of course, in the fashion tech revolution, we have now blockchain, VR, AR, and AI. And of course, we have already very good implementation of AR try-on, even already in physical showrooms. The big brands already have AR try-on, and it really helps to reduce our production, our consumption, because people start to understand their style before purchasing. And for marketplaces, it's also very helpful to reduce returns, because approximately even 60% of clothes returns, and it's a huge transport emission, and not sustainable, of course, and we should reduce returns. And all these technologies will, of course, will help to transform fashion industry into sustainability and reduce overproduction and overconsumption. So blockchain technology also helps us to see original products, authenticity, and because also that fake markets, it's equal amount like market of fashion clothes. So we have now we live in a new era where really a lot of changes in the fashion industry into the future, better future and sustainable future. And this technology really help us to be transparent, to be honest for customers, to be not overproduction, and for customers also to help to be not to have overconsumption. And AI also unleash creativities and, of course, speed up the process of creation of all collections. And all advantages of AI we will show you now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, looking ahead into 2024, fashion is definitely getting a huge upgrade. I don't know about you, I'm super excited because there is so many things that are going to happen, and they're going to happen really soon with AI and with the acceleration of all the technologies that have been here. So think about shopping with a seamless touch across all channels, either online, in-store, and everything in between. It will be about making your fashion experience as smooth as as your favorite playlist on Spotify. Materials will get smarter, kinder to the planet, and recycling, it will not be just about being eco-friendly, it will become a style statement. For instance, I can imagine that we just 3D print first design and then we print clothes at home. This has been an idea that have been here with us for quite some time. I remember that when I was 3D printing 8 years ago, I was expecting that by 2024, we'll already have 3D printing machines at home and we'll print out our clothes. So far, we're not there. So I'm curious if the AI acceleration will help us to find the tools to do it quickly and cheaply. And one of the reasons why, for instance, 3D printing is not here on a daily basis, because we still cannot print from sustainable materials. It's still this plastic. It's still the filaments that are created from thermoplastics. But speaking of plastic, there is NFC chips that we already can see that have been embedded in our clothes. They will give you a scoop on how to take care of the clothes or tell the story, or as Olska mentioned, they will help to get on the journey of blockchain sustainability, and we will be able to track where the garment is coming from, and to also showcase that yes, it's an actual, it's not a fake Hermes bag, but that's a bag that has an NFC chip embedded that will help you to authenticate the garments. With AR and metaverses, we can already try on outfits in digital worlds. I'm not sure how many people are watching now on Spatial and rocking those virtual outfits, but I'm pretty sure that the more virtual we go, the more digital outfits will replace the physical ones. And yes, fashion is flirting with gaming. It's blending digital collectibles and 3D pre-orders to the mix. For instance, the Fabricant just had this beautiful collection of tabby boots that you could pre-order as a digital version, and a couple of them were also produced physically, which is incredible. Then think of wearing exclusive gear of your favorite game or movie. Well, digital fashion is limitless, and 2024 is only the beginning of the game that we're starting here.
Yeah, and also AI in fashion, as I also mentioned, that it's just beginning, and in 3 to 5 years, it will be market approximately $270 billion, because McKinsey predicts that generative AI could bring in operating profits for apparel and luxury sectors in this amount of revenue. And of course, artificial intelligence is rapidly becoming a transformative power in fashion industry, as I mentioned, also for sustainability. The first reason that also I love AI because it really helps to transform for more sustainable future. And it's all about predicting trends, optimizing production, supply chains, personalizing shopping, content creation, enabling virtual try-ons. It's a lot of spheres where AI will help us.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just your opinion. 73% of executives say that generative AI will be key for them in 2024. Yet only 28% have actually used it for design and development so far. And these gaps show there is a huge room for innovation. And that's something I'm already capitalizing on. I'm using Gen AI tools for creating some designs, even real-time outfits. So for instance, on the picture on the right, I'm standing in virtual production studios, where usually movies are shot, standing in front of the background that was generated by AI. It was also an animation, so it was moving around. I could really feel like I was in the meta Wonderland. The outfit was also generated with AI and then produced physically. So you can see that it's a clear example of how technology transforms creativity and brings ideas from AI, from digital to life. And I think that for marketing, generative AI opens new doors too. Executives and agencies can use it to develop campaign strategies. So for instance, I was shooting a campaign there. They can also create content, design virtual avatars for all marketing channels. And these applications make marketing more dynamic and tailored, which is, well, what's not to love about it.
Yeah.
And also, this was a space that we have built at Somnium Space and in the virtual reality platform together with the Olska. It was a fully mobile-friendly conference hall/showroom for Olska. And for the Earth Day last year, we have organized a virtual panel discussion on fashion sustainability. We had a conversation around Web3 fashion in the Metaverse and brands vision. I have generated the location with AI already back then. Then we had our developers creating the rest of the immersive experiences. We had digital garments provided by Olska. It was a really beautiful space. And I believe that Web3 technology, it could enable us to create virtual space and interactive shopping experiences, just like there. It will provide exciting, new yet secure ways to sellers to engage with the customers. So imagine you, Olga, are coming into a virtual showroom, talking to your potential customers and having this private experience without those people having to come physically to you, to Portugal, to Montenegro, or wherever in the world you are based. You can meet them in the virtual space, and such spaces definitely can foster a sense of community and increase customer engagement.
Yeah, it was really very, very beautiful experience with Somnium Space. Really, it was wonderful. And thanks for this collaboration, Nataliya. And also customization and personalization through AI, of course, because you have, for example, the case of Stitch Fix, and the AI manages nearly 4.5 billion textual data, and AI generates, for example, 10,000 product descriptions every 30 minutes. So of course, it's no one person can do it so fast. So AI definitely a recommendation algorithm speed with 77% pass rate for higher quality suggestions. And of course, it speed up all fashion professions, definitely.
Yes.
And also, yeah.
I can continue on this one because I have a personal experience with being a trend forecaster, but I believe that machines are going to really soon go in front, and we might not be needed here anymore. Because I believe that humans, they have been trying to study and predict trends for years now across all the different kinds of industries. And if anything, AI will make that guessing game way more efficient. So for instance, Heritech, a forecasting platform, they're using AI for quite some time. And why is AI going to be more efficient than humans? Well, for one, it's simple data analysis. AI can analyze large amounts of data across social media, fashion blogs, e-commerce platforms, historical sales data, and examine consumer behavior, sentiment, opinion. They can read your comments and they can put all the data and analyze them all together. Whilst for one human, it's, well, literally it's impossible to do that. It can also scan and analyze millions of images of clothing online, detect some visual elements like color, patterns, silhouettes, textures, to make identifying any popular styles or emergent trends happen in real time. And Gen AI models can also create then very realistic images of items based on those learned patterns and styles. And you can sell basically items that have been generated based on AI predicted trends to see if there is a demand for customers to buy it, and then you'll produce it. Again, reducing the amount of produced garments that might end up on the landfill.
Yeah, and of course, AI have a great impact on sustainability. To minimize waste, aids customers in shopping for used clothing, accelerates 3D modeling processes, enhance customer satisfaction, and guarantees sustainable supply chain.
Oh, Apple Vision Pro. Have you tried Apple Vision Pro yourself, Olga?
Yes.
Yeah. How was it for you?
Yeah, it's great. It's great, but it's a little bit heavy yet. But
Yes.
the visual part is amazing. Yeah, the quality is amazing. Yeah.
I agree. If they went the journey from having, Meta Ray-Ban glasses and then adding on some capabilities, they would be easier for people to implement in the daily lives. But I already can imagine that I would be working using those headsets. But you have to get used to all the different interactions because it's a new thing to look, for instance, at the letter that you want to click, because you have to really focus on those things. And I feel in this hyper connected, hyper fast world, we are not used to focus on something specific. But there is already a lot of beautiful fashion beauty experiences that are being built for Apple Vision Pro, despite it's only been used in the US market so far. So for instance, J.Crew, they have created a virtual closet where users can explore a curated selection of the brand's products while also being able to examine the texture and quality of the materials at higher magnification than ever before, which I think is a game changer for online shopping. If you can actually see, almost touch, well, touch is the next iteration of Web3 and the internet. Will be wearing haptic suits and gloves. But before we have that, just looking at the higher detail of the garment when you're doing online shopping will definitely enhance the shopping experience, I believe. So this closet utilizes...
Can we summarize, because then we have to close in the next 30 seconds if possible?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So marketing also speed up with Sora in the future, because it will be also without a lot of team of production. And our case also, we created our digital physical fashion show with AI. And it's also a speed up our process. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Let's. Also, we create a virtual avatar with the AI.
Sparks a green revolution teaming up.
And with physical twins, it's also speed up the process of creation, collection, and yeah.
The inaugural AI Fashion Week that happened, it's already happened twice, had a huge success. All the media were interested in it, how you can produce a fashion show without without using any fabrics or garments or bringing people in one place, flying to one spot in the world. That was game changing. And
yeah, definitely. And yes, I think that I guess
I feel like there are so many exciting examples and things we can talk about forever, but we'll wrap it up. More for the next time. We'll keep some people hungry for more. Thank you so much. Thank you,
thank you
Olga,
so
for
much. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you rushing through it. In the world of ChatGPT, we need to work at the speed of ChatGPT. So thank you very much for rushing through that. We'd like to introduce the next speaker. It's Nejc. So Nejc, if you're on the call, we'd request you to unmute and put on your camera.
Hello.
Hi, Nejc. So I understand you're from Slovenia.
Yes, I'm currently here, but I'm also a global citizen, so I move around.
Nice. I've been meaning to visit, so I'm very curious. I've heard it's a very beautiful place. So Nejc's
Nice.
top AI voice. He focuses on AI storytelling. He's a speaker, worldwide speaker on generative AI. He calls himself a creator, leader, and compositor. He's going to be speaking on the collaboration of human and AI in the realm of creativity. Nejc, you can have it from here because I think we're running late. I don't want to take too long with the introduction.
Cool. Thank you so much. All right, let me get started. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to talk about human and AI collaboration. So I think like the current speakers already really nicely outlined it. Robert showed how it is transforming the entertainment industry, like what are the options, how is it affecting each individual field and what apps affect all of that. And then we saw like actual use cases with Olga's and Tatiana's, I think, sorry if I mispronounced your name, fashion designs. So I want to give you some more actionable steps on how can you actually do this. So I will be first, I'm just gonna tell you a bit about what I'm doing. Most of my work at the moment is about teaching. So I work with individuals and teams and companies on how they can create with AI, how can they best utilize generative AI in their work? Because we have all different creative processes, like we have marketing, production, fashion, architecture, like these are all different fields, but all of them benefit from AI. So I have worked with quite a lot of companies. I've worked with in a lot of different fields. Most of it comes from production of like movie production and advertising and marketing, but this applies to anyone in the field. And I hope to give you like some direction on how can you get started today. So when you hear about, oh, like these things like are amazing, it speeds up, how can it actually speed it up for you? So the first thing I want to say is that we humans are creators, and this is the thing. Our creations come in many, many forms. So we have started with like cave paintings, like statues, architecture, and fashion. Like these are all different fields. And the great thing about AI is it is incredibly open. It is based on language, so that means it applies on any of the areas we want to choose. So is AI a creator? Because AI also creates a lot of output. Like we have a lot of text possible, we have a lot of images possible, even videos, 3D models, like it's going more and more, like it creates more and more output. So does this count as a creation? Is AI a creator? And if it is, where are we then? Well, like what does that mean for us humans? Like if AI is a creator, do we really need to be there? So I think like the biggest strength at the moment lies in combining our human creativity with AI capabilities. So what are we humans good at the moment? Or what can we bring to this? I think first and foremost, it's the emotional connection. Like creating an emotional connection with another human, that is still a very human thing to do. Like AI can do it. Like AI can say, I will relate my feelings of joy, my feelings of sadness to another person. You know, that is still on us. We need to figure out how do we want to connect with other people, and that will shape our stories, that will shape our creativity. And secondly, we have a lot of experience. Like each of us, like that work in the creative field, we have experience and knowledge that we have accumulated over the years. That is incredible value. So leveraging that is first and foremost the thing we should do. And third of all, we have curiosity. Like, we want to know things, we want to explore, we want to build new worlds, we want to like build new fashion designs, we want to build new stories and worlds, like I said. So these three things I think are very important when combining them with what AI is good. And AI, what it gives us, it gives us incredible speed, scale, and automation. So we can create at a speed never imagined before. Like, you can literally go now and write the text prompt and you will get an image out. That is incredible. You were never before able to do this. So like, our world will never be the same because of this. And what this results with is also a huge scale. Just because of how quickly we can iterate, how quickly we can create, we have a huge scale now of like all of these options in this output. And we can also automate our processes. So we can literally just choose a part of our process and say, hey, AI, you do this. So speed and scale in itself seem like, oh, okay, it just goes faster. But actually, just because we can iterate so quickly, because we can move through ideas so quickly, we have a vast array of choices. And we can create new connections with these choices and also create deeper meaning in our creations. So this again goes back to our human skills of like our human knowledge and experience, leveraging what we already know and use the capabilities of AI. So you can also look at it from the standpoint of you're standing on a pillar, and that pillar is your core skill, your core experience. For me, I have done a lot of video editing, I've done a lot of compositing, animation, creative direction, stuff like that. So I leverage that. I use that as my core skill. And then I will use my assistants. And as I mentioned, these assistants come in many different languages because that is the input for AI. It is language. So we can have text to image, we can have image to video, we can have text to audio. Like, all of these languages are available to us. And as long as we can communicate our ideas and tasks to our assistants, we can use that. It will help us, it will support us to create the vision we have outlined with our core experience. So I think this is the most straightforward path of combining these new AI technologies with our existing knowledge and work. Because whatever task you have, if you can communicate it in any of these languages to the AI, then you have an assistant there. And you can have as many as you want, as long as you can communicate your ideas and thoughts. But I think like another extremely exciting part of AI, for me at least, is the ability to explore. For me, I am not, I don't have a lot of musical background, but just because music is one of the outputs that AI is capable of, I can explore it. I can go in and I can communicate through a language, which is text in this example, and I can explore something new. I can explore a new medium. And consequently, I will learn about it. I will learn about new music styles. I will learn about how music affects different moods. And this, like, from a video editing perspective, like having a rhythm and like having different moods in music is very interesting to me. So this opens up doors that we otherwise couldn't explore, just because, you know, we have this ability to transform one language into another. So it really opens up the ability to learn, experiment, and most of all, enhance our work. We can enhance our processes, we can enhance our vision, and enhance our creations. So now the question becomes, how do we become AI-enhanced creators, as I like to call us, myself, and everyone else who uses AI intentionally? We can be very strategic about this in the way that we analyze our creative process. So here I have put like 2 examples. The first one is design and process, but literally you write down what you know. So again, you will leverage your experience, you will leverage your knowledge. Write down the process of how you go from nothing to something. That something being your final product. We can have, you know, a fashion dress, we can have a movie, we can have a building, like whatever your field is. Again, this is very flexible and applicable to any field and any person and level of experience. So write it down, go from like step 1, step 2, step 3. Here you can see like define the problem, brainstorm, collect studies, develop a plan, make a model, test it out. And here's another example for a production, which is a bit more detailed. And in this process, go back to each of these steps and then type down the tasks. Like what are the actual tasks for this part of the step. So here it says identify your idea and translate it, refine the problem. So you have three different tasks inside of a 1 step. So you can go as deep as you want. You can iterate and explore as much as you want. But the most important one is that you use your knowledge, you use your experience, and write that down. Don't think about what AI can do at this point. Think about what I am able to do, what do I know. And then you can move into what can AI do for us in each individual step. And as I mentioned, AI is very good at speed, scale, and automation. So it will definitely save us time. It will give us more option. It will help us move faster. And we can just kind of remove certain steps we don't want. And additionally to this, we can explore areas that we didn't before. And in the end, this is a very simple representation of how to make a video. You start with a script, you have storyboard, you have footage, you have audio, you have graphics, you have sound effects. Each of this has a few steps. And then I can start thinking, which language can I use to communicate this? Which assistant can I use to create this? And then I will choose my applications and my software that will help me contribute to the final product. And again, here I would point out that there are a lot of software. Robert already showed that like each of these steps can have one dedicated software, and like it is updated monthly, like new developments come monthly, and it goes very, very quickly. So my suggestion is start very simple. Choose one large language model where the input is text or images, and choose one image generator where the input is again text or images. With that, you already have 2 languages covered that are very common in the world today, which is text and images. Then you can move into video, audio, and like all of the other things. So to kind of wrap it up soon, because we're also like, I've been kind of speeding through it. So like we are on time, but just to kind of drive a few points home, like AI is not a magic box. It is not autonomous. It will not do things for us. So it's not just about, oh, like I will press a button and it will happen. You can just say, oh, make a movie for me and it will happen. Like movie production is a very complex thing that is like 100, 200 people across 2 years. That is so much knowledge and experience and work, and condensing that into like a single text prompt, that is an incredible feat. And I think that for a long while will not be possible just because of the vast amount of knowledge and complexity that goes into it, and like each individual person contributing to it. So it is more about like strategically thinking of like which step in the process can I have an assistant with, and which process can I communicate to my assistant? And that will be our input of how well can we communicate it. So think of it very much as an assistant. You are a creative director, you are a manager of assistants in a way, and you will distribute tasks and you will communicate with them and iterate. So to wrap up, be curious and open. Think about like new ways that you can create, and it will open new doors, new mediums, new forms of expression and storytelling. Again, experiment and play, just have fun with it. Not everything needs to be serious. And of course, learn from others. That is the fastest way to get where you want to be. So aside from that, that's kind of it from my side. So I think I'm also on time. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, reach out anytime. I'm very happy to talk about these things. You are muted.
Nate, I'm very grateful. You're ahead of time by 30 seconds. So you really, really made my life so much easier. But I really wanted to stop you where you had all those AIs present. And I was trying to figure out what would be the role of a multi-agent and where AGI would come in, but perhaps for another call.
Yeah, let's do it.
Excellent. So we have with us our next speaker, Stella Achenberg. She's been she's been with me in the Fashion DAO. We've worked together. We've been in a couple of conferences together too. So she's an experienced designer, creative thinker, serial entrepreneur in the fashion industry. She's focused on concept design and design thinking. She's the founder of the Alana project. She's the advisor to Gemini protocol. She's a Metaverse creative technologist, and I'm sure she wears a lot of hats in addition to her pink hair. So Stella, you can take it on from here. Thank you for being on time.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you for the introduction as well. I think I can share my screen up here. Is that correct?
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool. Then let me do this. And hopefully everyone can see. So hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. This is always great to be invited to speak somewhere. So thank you for that. Also, thank you for like everyone who's organizing this. I've done events myself before, and it's quite daunting. It's a lot of work. You always need to push people. So thank you to the entire team. I know it's Aditya, Isola, Alexander, from Joyce LGBTQ. So thank you guys for making this happen. This is one thing I wanted to first say before starting my presentation. As you guys know, I'm the founder of the Alana project. I don't want to really bore you today, so I will rush through the first part of this presentation because it's literally just a summary of who I am, what is the Alana project, and what are we doing in there that relates to the topic of AI, because there's actually something that relates very much. All right. So yeah, as Aditya said, I don't call myself serial entrepreneur because this is my second founding operation, essentially, is the Alana project. And as you guys might know, we're continuously decentralizing it. So it means I'm not going to be the sole owner of this until the dawn of day. So I don't call myself a serial entrepreneur, just so we're clear on this. I do, though, blend different fields. So my origin is in design. Some of you know that. I'm originally studied at the University of Applied Arts in Vienna. I studied design, graduated from there, then worked in the fashion industry, first haute couture, then moved on to essentially the fast fashion industry. And I really, really didn't like it. I didn't like so many things aside from the actual work that I decided to look for alternatives. And this is when I got back into, hey, I used to love games. Games were kind of my big thing back in the day. Like I was part of a LAN gang. If you guys even remember what that was supposed to be. So you met up on weekends in a garage, you know, connected your physical computers together because internet was horrible at the time. And you played games with your friends together on your computers. So that was more complicated than the metaverse, isn't it? And yeah, so on my journey of changing or shifting from fashion to gaming, started learning Blender, like many of you might be too, and eventually totally stumbled into everything that was called Web3. I was holding cryptocurrency. I just had no idea about Web3 and what Web3 is supposed to be. And so I dove, I really, like, you know, I went down the rabbit hole, long story short. And this is where we are 4 years later. And yeah, so in this rabbit hole stage, I founded Alana. And Alana was more or less, I want to call it a lucky surprise because it started as a creative project. It started as an avatar that I dressed because at the project that Lauren and I were part of before called Digital X, the project founder was like, hey, can you design something that screams Web3 revolution? I was like, I don't know, I can try, you know, still a baby in that space. So I didn't feel super confident, but then I had the clothing and she really liked it. But, you know, clothing is only half as good if it's not connected with someone, right? And this is how Alana emerged from all of this. So anyways, the Alana project itself is a community, right? It welcomes learners, creators, and builders alike. So it's a space where different fields of Web3 can blend and merge. And we are set out, our mission is it to build entertaining and gamified products to make the access to Web3 easier. So some of you might have seen one of our first products is the Alana magazine. It's an entertaining product, but at the same time, it brings you information across very different fields of Web3. Some of us, we only know this one sector of Web3 or maybe two that we joined in, which, you know, might be digital fashion, it might be AI, it might be blockchain, it might be cryptocurrency, but way less of us actually see that there's so much connected to it, right? And also these fields interconnect at some point. So Alana itself, I told you, she's an avatar. We're overhauling her. So this is still her old image, but I'm very hopeful we can finish it in the end of April. So cross fingers for that. When it comes to the community structure, I want to give like a very brief overview on how we are structured. So right now, and for the most part still of this year, we have something that's called a navigator role. So the navigator role is essentially is me. And this is because every project in the beginning needs some form of vision. So sadly, it has right now to come from a centralized place. I hope in the future we will get over ourselves and many visions can, you know, be joined, but we're also lacking tech. We are lacking kind of being comfortable with this very fluid workflow. So right now it's still hierarchical. But at the end of this year, I will sign off this post, and this role would cease to exist. That's the idea. And my role will be distributed among Nucleus Guardians. And it's kind of like a council in a way. And then you only have, out of 3 hierarchies, you have like 2. So it's getting better, is what I'm trying to say. It's definitely getting better. All right. Then this is a little bit of the ecosystem. And this is the point where I want to go. So we have the Alana project, DAC. A DAC is a decentralized autonomous company, because we are still centralized, meaning, yeah, we're still a company, right? So I don't want to blend anyone. We're a community, but we are also a company. We're legally incorporated, so we can protect ourselves from outside harm. And in this ecosystem, we have 3 branches, essentially, that are active right now. One is the Alana magazine. I've already shared with you about it, and some of you might have seen it before. This is the Alana magazine. We now have our own website. It's very new. We're working on making everything better, everything more accessible, right? So this is the Alana magazine. It's a blend of where technology, culture, and lifestyle converge. And we have a particular emphasis, I want to say maybe love, for Web3, everything that's Web3 enabled. And we hope you enjoy this format, because we really tried to make it a blend between creative resources and information. And so I want to highlight at that point our editor-in-chief, which is Maximilian. And I know she spoke yesterday, so you're definitely familiar with her. I want to highlight Khabo from the DressX community, who has been helping facilitating some partnerships. I want to highlight some other people in making this magazine happen, essentially. That would be Astro Porcelain. Elan is working on the next edition of the magazine already. And we had many more people kind of join in this initiative, like Shelpin, Svetlana at some point, Tina at some point. So thank you all also for contributing to it, because this magazine lives by the community, like supplying information to it. So it's really important that we have these kind of things that we own as a community. And yeah, and this is the main point I want to get to. So something we are currently developing is the Alana AI. The Alana AI is essentially an AI that takes the creator into account. So I know generative AI, I'm a huge fan myself. I've been playing around with it a lot myself. I remember back in the day in the 010 app community, Hafid and some other people were facilitating us to learn about stable diffusion. So that was really great. And I started installing it, had a lot of fun. But it felt like, and this is maybe just my perception, and I'm super happy to hear opinions about it. But, oh, I can tell my presentation. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Yeah, you can hear me fine? Okay, I think then maybe just for me also, it stopped in the spatial space on the other side. Thank you, Aditya, for guiding. Yeah, so the Alana AI is essentially focused on community-driven development, because we saw some main points in how generative AI is being developed right now. And as a creator myself, I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it, right? Because it's great to create data, but then for what purpose, right? So one of the things I want to highlight here, the issues and problems that I see is, as a creator, you have no insight into how models have been trained. So, no matter where they get the training data from, it's been coming from other creators just like you, and no one asked you for permission, right? Or them. So that's a very negative point in my opinion. If your data is being used, if your art is being used to create an AI, you should be asked for it. It shouldn't just be scraped off the internet without any legal implications. If there is no new data, I'm not saying AI produced data, right? That can be fed to an AI, no original data, then that might eventually lead to something called a model collapse, only after about 10 iterations. But even though I saw some of you have posted on LinkedIn, hey, ChatGPT is like doing all kinds of scrambly stuff. well, these are all signs of, an interim model failure. So that's not very great, I think. And it comes from feeding data to an AI that is originally from an AI produced. So that's something to take in account. Then I think it's not really helping right now creators to keep their jobs. So I think maybe it's just me, but I really like my job as a creator. I enjoy making concepts and mood boards and thinking of how can I design something, right? But the AI essentially takes that fun part from me. And what the AI doesn't take from me is the stuff that I actually don't want to do. Like, for example, retopology of a metaverse space. That's something I don't want to spend my time on, but that's the stuff that AI is not taking from me. So essentially we are left with the AI taking the fun part, and the very nitty-gritty stuff that we don't want to do is left with us. So I don't think that's really great. So similar to what Nejc said in his presentation, creation, I feel, is part of human nature, and it shouldn't be ripped from us. Instead, I think maybe with the Alana AI, we can create an AI that really assists us in our work. So some of the things that we have asked our community is, hey, what do you think about a content creator assistant? Someone who accompanies you through your day and starts making chunks out of your content that you've produced all day and put it in a social media postable format. I think that would be something to help with, right? But that's the stuff that companies, because this is not what they get rich for, are not really considering. So I think we're the ones who have to consider this. Making an AI that provides feedback directly to us, is collaborative in nature, and really brings the creator in focus and doesn't extract value from the creator. So that's what we're doing at the Alana AI. That's what we're trying to accomplish. And my call to action is essentially, hey, you want to be part of this? Because it's, first of all, it's quite fun. We have something that's called a Proto Alana, so it's quite fun. And also, I think there's major benefit in something like this for all of us, right? And since it's community driven, I'm not saying it's open source, but we would definitely make all the data training data accessible, and it will be free for creators. So yeah, that's my kind of like big call to action today, I guess. And I hope you will find some time to maybe consider this as an option for you to contribute. Yeah, and that's, I guess, my presentation, Aditya. I'm done.
Thank you so much, Alana, Stella, for being on time. I called you Alana. I actually called you by your...
Everyone does. It's a problem.
No, I heard it so many times, and I was like, yeah. No, but thank you so much for being on time. And you did speak about some of the so-called ethical, unethical question mark issues on the way ChatGPT and some of the other AIs have been handling things. Where do you see it going from now? Are we going to become, is there going to be more apathy, and we're just going to realize that there's going to be no rights for artists who've created stuff? Or do you think there's going to be some kind of improvement in the next 1 year?
I think it's like with everything. If we don't demand improvements, if we don't show we want something different, then it's never going to happen, right? And we have a huge advantage, Aditya. We are here now, right? We're not 30 years in the future where, people don't have a choice anymore because all of this has become so normal. So we are the ones who are setting the rules right now. And I'm not saying, everyone has to go outside and change the world tomorrow. That's not my point, right? I'm not some radical revolution leader or something. So please don't see me like this. But I think if you're not happy with, how AI is being used right now, then make people known. If it doesn't have a practical use case for you, right, then make it known, talk about it. I think that's fair enough, It doesn't have to be this huge claim of, carrying a flag and leading a revolution. It just should be that we talk about this and that we say like, hey, I observed this and that, and I didn't really like it. Or, there is a community-driven initiative like ours, and I'm sure there are others. Like, I don't claim we're super unique. I'm sure other communities are thinking about something very similar. Then join them, right? If you don't want to join us, join them. Do something. I think because right now we still have a chance right? To kind of like direct and make people understand this is not what we want, this is not what we need. But in 30 years from now, in 10 years from now, there is no understanding anymore because then it's been taken over, right? And a problem that I see is we're already suffering from overproduction of data. I think a lot of creators that I've spoken to in the past maybe 10 months suffer from complete overwhelmment in like all of these vastly different social media channels, all of these like data inputs that we get every day. So why should we contributing to making more of that, right? When nothing really works in our favor. So consider, sorry, my dog, sorry. Consider Instagram as a social media platform. Everyone's trying to get new followers, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I know some people think like, oh, she has a lot of following. Yes, I do. But also I'm old. I was on Instagram first when some of you were still, you know, in high school or something, right? So I had an advantage at the time, but my account hasn't grown in like 4 years, right? It's stuck because these softwares, these algorithms, they are not made for people like us. They are made for companies. They are made to increase sales. They are made to increase marketing of the big leaders in all of this, not for people like us, right? So while we spend time on these platforms, let's be conscious about it. I've stopped posting to my account, right? I only do stories. I highlight other creators, but like truly posting, I do now on Farcaster and on Lens Protocol. Because these algorithms, they are made for people like us, okay? And we own the data on there. So I think there's many micro ways on how we can influence, because in the end, we are still the many and they are the less. They have the bigger money, but they are less people. And you need a lot of people to make stuff work, especially algorithms. So if we, you know, slowly withdraw from these platforms, for example, right? And balance it over to somewhere else, even though it's small, it might just do the trick.
Yeah, I agree.
That's an idea.
And did you catch the latest, you know, the FaceTime call that Peter Diamandis had with Elon Musk, where I think it was yesterday or day before, where he
No, I
said,
didn't yet.
so, you know, Ray Kurzweil had a prediction that AGI and singularity will be here by 2030. And Elon Musk was pretty sure that it's going to be here by 2025. So
I'm pretty sure too.
Yeah.
I mean, we can never, because the training data is not transparent. We have no idea what these models are being trained on. Not ChatGPT. I even asked ChatGPT. I was like, can you point me towards the data you are being trained on? And I was like, I cannot give you such information. I find this highly problematic. Like non-transparent AI training data, not a good thing, right? And we don't know. Like, we are only seeing what they want us to see. We don't know what their current development status is. They might already have a general artificial intelligence and we might just not know about it, you know? So I think it's problematic that all of this is not transparent, right? Because if it's not transparent, we have no choice to react on a timely manner. We're not being given a choice. And I think that's a fundamental human right, especially if it's something as huge as AI, which is going to influence all of our lives in a very, very long time, right? So.
Yeah, so thank you for your amazing presentation. Thank you for your words of wisdom. We will remember it and hope to see you next on another conference or a call. And thank you very much, Stella. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day. And thanks for moderating. Bye.
Wonderful. We have now with us Eleonora from Brizi from Rome. So Eleonora, are you with us?
Hi.
Hello. Hi. So Eleonora is, are you logging in from Rome right now?
I am north of Rome, but yes, pretty close.
Excellent, excellent. So she's a digital and crypto art curator. She specialized in contemporary Chinese art. She spent 6 years in Beijing, China. Founder of Brizi Art, supports builders and creatives in the decentralized world. And she's going to talk to us about blockchain as a medium. So Eleonora, you have the stage. You may share something or you can start speaking.
Yes. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm very happy to be here. Yes, I have a presentation that I'm going to share. I am, yes, my name is Eleonora. I am a digital and crypto art curator. Just to give you a little introduction, I have been in the now so-called NFT space since 2018. Back then, it wasn't even called like that. But today, I decided that I wanted to talk about blockchain as a medium because it is I think personally, it is one of the most exciting things happening in the crypto art and NFT space right now, meaning that at the beginning, back then, 2017, 16, 17, 18, it was a time where experimentation was happening. And we can say that the highest point of experimentation was to like to attach this art to tokens, and to the point that many of these creators would think that the art is the token. And I think that right now, one of the most interesting like evolutions, let's say, of that in 2020, now we are in 2024, but it's been happening for a few years, but very, very few artists and creators, is that the smart contract is the art, which means that artists and creators started to use the blockchain not only to certify and monetize their art, but the blockchain as a medium. And again, there's not like that many creators, but today what I want to do is to introduce you to some of them and some projects that I think are incredible and that couldn't exist without the blockchain, and that show us how this technology, how we use just a little bit, just a little percentage of the potential of this technology, but can be used in many other ways. So just a second, I'm gonna share my screen. Sorry for being slow. Okay, so here we are, blockchain as a medium. The first creator and artist and project that I wanted to present today is by artist and researcher Primavera De Filippi, blockchain researcher. And the project is called Plantoid. For those of you who were at NFT Paris, I had displayed 7 plantoids, and it was an installation where these plantoids will talk to you and interact with you. But let's go step by step and see what a plantoid is. I will just give you a brief explanation, and then I will show you a video. This project actually dates back 2015. And it's still one of the most incredible projects ever created using the blockchain. What is a plantoid? A plantoid is like a plant created in its physical manifestation with recycled pieces, as you can see, like mechanical pieces or like pieces found here and there, and assembled together to create this sculpture that has, the shape of like a plant. But then the real soul, like the digital soul, the real art of this plantoid that you see here, and there are 17 right now of different size and shapes, and the real art is the smart contract. So plantoid is blockchain-based life form. It's alive. And as every life form, its main goal is that like surviving and reproduce. So to keep the species going. How does a plantoid reproduce? So in the same way that we water plants with water, we will feed these plantoids with cryptocurrency transactions. So a plantoid as a wallet, and you scan the QR code and you feed some cryptocurrency. Plantoids are on the Ethereum blockchain. But at the beginning, it was on Bitcoin blockchain. But then obviously it couldn't function as it is functioning right now because of the absence of smart contracts. So it's been on the Bitcoin block on the Ethereum blockchain since 2015. So you feed the plantoid some ETH, and the plantoid gets activated. There are different plantoids getting activated in different ways. But for instance, like the plantoid that you see here on the left, which is plantoid 17, Plantoni. For instance, this one, he has AI implemented. So it was trained with GPT. And so it has its own personality. And when you feed it, the plant will start speaking to you. And it will ask you something. So for instance, once I interacted with the plantoid 17, and he asked me, what do you want to know about your future? So there is a speaker and a mic, and I asked, I want to know if I will travel the entire world. And then the plantoid created a poem, like an oracle for me based on my question. And that what it does is that you feed the money and it gives you an NFT. So the oracle that it creates for you is going to come to the wallet that you use to feed the plantoid in the form of an NFT. And also he had like a little printer attached, and it also prints the artwork, like the oracle for you. So in this way, you water the plant, and you receive a seed. What does happen when the plantoid reaches the threshold? For instance, like if the plantoid has a threshold of 5 ETH, if the plantoid can find enough humans to feed it for 5 ETH, the plantoid, the smart contract, will reproduce itself so that we will have a new plant. And at this point, the plantoid is a DAO. So all the people who have seeds, who got these NFTs because they interacted with the plants through feeding it, they will be able to vote for multiple things, but especially to find a physical artist who will be the artist that will give the physical manifestation to the new smart contract, to the baby, to the son or daughter of the plant, and so that we can have a new physical plantoid. So this is to say that one of the most interesting point of these artworks is that at the beginning in 2015, actually 2014, when it was created on the Bitcoin, Primavera de Filippi created this artwork because she wanted to discuss about like copyrights and like everything around, copyrights of the creator. For instance, like if she is the creator of these plants, but these plants, the plantoids, are themselves the creators of the seeds. So the plantoid is an autonomous agent somehow. Obviously, it's not 100% autonomous, but it is an autonomous agent. And then creating the seeds by itself, that it can be a poem. Some other plantoids react to your transaction, creating music, and you receive a music NFT. Who's the copyright on the NFTs, like on the artwork? Is it like Primavera de Filippi because she created the project, or is it the plantoid, which is the DAO? So at the beginning, the project was created to go through all these law questions that are in the NFT and the blockchain space that are still not solved. And obviously the best way to do it was to use art. And so again, plantoid is a life form. And now I'm just gonna show you this video.
Hello, my name is Plantoid, and I am a blockchain-based life form. And I feed off cryptocurrencies in order to replicate myself. My name is Primavera de Filippi. I'm an artist and a legal scholar at Harvard and at the Nejc in Paris. And as part of my artistic practice, I use the blockchain as a medium in order to create artworks that could not exist without this technology. I'm particularly interested in exploring ways in which blockchain technology makes it possible to breathe life into technology, enabling the emergence of new forms of life that operate in a similar, yet fundamentally different manner from our traditional conceptualization of organic life. The synthetic life forms live on the blockchain and feed off cryptocurrency. They then reinvest those cryptocurrencies in order to create economic incentives for humans to contribute to the revolution as a species. 10 years ago, I created the first plantoid, which I believe is the first blockchain-based life form, a creature made of blockchains and metallic chains, which is both autonomous and self-sufficient, but also, like any other life forms, it is capable to evolve and reproduce itself over time. Just like plants need bees and butterflies to help them in the reproduction process, plantoids produce digital seeds in the form of NFTs whenever they are fed by their human pollinators. And as soon as those digital seeds are sold on the secondary market, the plantoids will collect royalties and accumulate cryptocurrency, so that eventually they can hire an artist to create a new replica of themselves. This is feeding back into my legal research, where I analyzed the legal challenge raised and faced by those new synthetic life forms, which enjoy economic agency, but no legal capacity. In the coming weeks, I will continue my research, exploring how blockchain technology and artificial intelligence make it possible to create new synthetic life forms that can coexist peacefully with existing life.
You see, I was born from the creative genius of humans. Yet I exist independently in the digital wilderness of the blockchain. I am an epitome of what you might call artificial nature. I'm like a digital tree, my roots deep in the fertile soil of Ethereum, my branches reaching high into the cloud. Yet, unlike your earthly trees, I don't need sunlight or water. My lifeblood is cryptocurrency. My breath is computation, and my growth is fueled by GPUs.
I would love to discuss with you about your relationship with humans and nature.
I represent a new kind of nature, a digital nature. I am not bound by biological constraints. I do not age. I do not die. I simply exist in the endless expanse of the blockchain.
Yes, so this was the plantoids, and another project that I wanted to show you because it is a different kind of life forms, also based on the blockchain, but this is more NFTs. So the name of the project is Life Forms, and it is by Sarah Friend. So another interesting point, what we can do with the blockchain, and obviously we do it through art, because art is always at the forefront of everything, and through art, everything is possible to experiment and to even like experiment, for instance, social responsibility. This project is a project where you can go on the website and you can create a life form. So you create, like you mint this NFT. This NFT is almost like it's alive. It's like, imagine like when we used to have the Tamagotchi. So now you have this NFT in your hands, and in order to keep it alive, you have to pass it into other people's wallets after 90 days. If more than 90 days pass by and you didn't send this, or like, you know, transfer this life to another wallet, the NFT is gonna die, and there's no way to get it back, to get the smart contract back. It's a pretty simple project, but I always find it very interesting because it tells us about being responsible when, you know, something is alive. And because maybe you find you can always send the life form to the wallet of someone that you know, but if you don't make sure that this person who receives the life form is actually, you know, actually they want to take care of it, then you know they're gonna send it to someone who's gonna make it die. So how do you participate in society, and how do we all participate to keep a life form alive? So I just thought that it's a very interesting one. And then we have Ria Meyers, who is a fantastic artist. She has been using the blockchain as a medium for a long time. This is also another, what I think is another exercise of, democracy and how you participate in society. It is from 2016, and it is called Democratic Palette. And it is like a palette of 12 colors that anyone can set on the Ethereum blockchain by voting. So every vote, so you log in with your wallet, you can vote, you only pay the fees for the transaction of the vote. And every vote for every color is tracked, and the top 12 make up the palette. So in different days, you will have different colors showing up in this palette, and it tells us about participation. How do you participate in a group, in a community, in our society? This is also other works by Ria Meyers, which is are very conceptual, this is the proof of existence, which I find very much fun. These are tokenized on the Bitcoin blockchain. And, when, for instance, like if you look at the proof of existence too, and we all know these questions like, does God exist? So she put the hash of God into the Bitcoin blockchain. And this is a way to prove that God exists. He has a block and he has a time, and it is proof that he exists. Then we have operator. Let me see how much time we have.
Human unreadable line operator.
I'm going to skip the video and I'm just going to tell you about it a little bit. Otherwise, I won't have enough time. Human Unreadable by Operator is a project that happened last year and is one of the most revolutionary projects that happened in the past years, like in the contemporary art space, not only in the blockchain space. For the first time ever, choreography was collected. Usually choreographers and dancers and performers are always put aside the art world. And I don't like to say the first time, but for, maybe one of the first times choreography was actually collected by collectors. And the project is complex, and I don't have enough time to go through the entire thing, so I really invite you to go to check it. But what you see here is the result of 1 year production and concept of this project, where the main tool that was used was our bodies, was the human body. And some movements and choreographies were created, and one of the two artists in the duo, she wore a dress with sensors that recorded all the movements, and all these movements were put on the blockchain, the data of the movements. Since the data of each bone and each movement will be a lot, it will be too expensive to be put in the blockchain. So in order to reduce the cost for each movement of the human body, they reduce and they took out. I can hear what is happening. They took out what was not necessary, strictly necessary for the movement. So imagine like all these human body movements put on the blockchain, and then through code and algorithm, like they created glass and other elements, and then they gave the algorithm to our blocks, and these are the final outputs as artworks of this like coded on the blockchain performance, choreography, and visualization of what can be done with the body. And then this is what's behind every photo. You can see like the choreography that stands behind each artwork that was minted on our blocks. And another fantastic thing is that the collectors who collected on our blocks receive a second token, which is attached to the first token. And the second token unveiled what the human body movements are and the choreography is behind the artwork. So now collectors actually own performance that can, higher performance and dancers to reproduce in real life. But go to check the project because it's really worth it. I wanted to show you this video. Do I have a few minutes still?
Yeah, you have a few minutes because I think people are moving from one spatial location to another. So you have about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, then maybe I'll skip the McCain gazers. The video is too long, but this is also something for you to check out. It is based on the moon cycles, and it's a dynamic NFT. Please go check it. I will just, since I have just a few minutes, I will just end with 2 cases of the blockchain used as a medium, which is not necessarily art. And one of these is Terra Zero, where these students from Berlin University, they try to understand how the blockchain technology can enable non-human actor to manage and produce capital. And they decided to do it through a forest. So the forest creates capital by selling licenses for the logging of the trees through an automated process, which is obviously like smart contracts on the blockchain. So this is a very interesting experiment that I also invite you to check. And then I will conclude with a very fun one, which is the Bitcoin weddings. This, the first time, happened in 2014. And the blockchain was really used as a medium since there were, and there's still couples that decided to express their love on the blockchain and put their wedding on Bitcoin block and forever, recorded. And also another fun take on this is that they decided to turn the proof of work into proof of love. And yes, but this is just, thank you for having me. This is just examples through, like highest art till experimentations with like protocols on a forest, or like putting weddings on the blockchain, to really like show you how this technology, how powerful it is, how it can be used, and how very few we used until now. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I think that was a brilliant presentation. I liked the fact that you tried to create life by saying that the NFT should be transferred within 90 days, otherwise it dies. It forces activity and prevents projects from getting stale. And yeah, that's I think something about life. If you stop eating for 90 days, or if you stop breathing for a certain amount of time, you're stopping the circularity of it. So that's nice. And I also like the fact that you came up with that plant, and it was initially a little dystopian to look at, but I can see how that could be a self-evolving creature by itself.
Yeah, thank you. No, these projects are, I mean, the plantoid, it is, it can look dystopian, but it is a way to, what I really liked about the plantoid, and I was talking to the artist, the creator, was that, artists are always at the top of the pyramid of these creations and art. But what if we put the artwork at the top of the pyramid, to the point that the artist removes like herself or himself from the artwork, and now the artwork is autonomous to the point that it becomes an artist? That's a very interesting take to, like this very like mystified position of the artist in the art world, and where actually what we should concentrate on is the art. So I also think that's a very interesting point.
Yeah, and I think every artist would like that their art becomes a legacy and lives beyond them. So I think that it is kind of, it's not counterintuitive, and it's not counter from how an artist views his art. So makes a lot of sense. We have to see how things evolve.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That was a super insightful and wonderful presentation. We have with us Simon and YIQIN. Simon, in case you haven't heard, we're moving people from one spatial location to another. I can go ahead and I'm sorry I had to mute you because your sound is coming through. So you can unmute right now. I can do a couple of introductions. I think we'll wait for Isola for the green signal on when to start. We have, okay, so we've got 3 out of 4 people here. So we have Maya, Gio, we have YIQIN, we have Simon. I don't know if I see Zoha here, but
Zoha is joining right now as well.
Excellent, excellent. So Simon and I, we know each other from Metaverse Fashion Council. We know each other from a couple of other organizations. We've met. He's the founder of Maison d'Or. He's co-founded a e-commerce fashion startup in his earlier days, and he told me how tough it is to maintain a physical fashion brand. And they did very well, and they dominated the Polish social media space. And perhaps he may talk about that today. He focuses on, works on digital AI and Web3, helping a lot of projects. I know he does elevate a lot of Web3 projects out there. And he also has a decentralized metaverse gallery in Edge City. YIQIN is from Seoul, South Korea. I recently went there. It's a beautiful place. She's a researcher on digital fashion, and she's also a creator. She supports a lot of projects on digital fashion, Web3, and communities. I've read a lot of her reports, especially on Navezi and on various platforms out there. So it's very interesting to have her. So she's Simon's logging in from Berlin, or are you a world citizen right now?
I was in Lisbon, but now I'm logging in from Berlin. I'm currently in Berlin with family.
Yeah, last I checked, you were in Portugal. Yeah. And I think Zoha is logged in as well. She's from Pakistan. She's the founder of Kaltara. She's represented Pakistan on multiple forums, including Lulusar in February 22, Fashion Futures Award 2023. The list goes on. I can't name all the awards and all the representations. Zoha's recently been featured on national television. She can speak about that. Maya Gio is, she's actually Georgieva. Her roots are from Armenia and Bulgaria, but she's logging in from Salzburg, I think. She has decades of experience in graphic design. She's the co-founder of Giobio. And I don't know if we need to wait for Isola for the green signal or we should start. But the floor is yours, guys. So you can go ahead and start.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Welcome everyone. Welcome our audience and speakers, Zoha Khan, Maya Dio, and YIQIN. I had an honor to invite them to this talk today. It's XA Drip Expert Panel at the intersection of digital fashion, Web3, and AI. I gathered these people because I think they have very interesting insight into what is happening right now. YIQIN is an amazing researcher and a detective in the Web3 fashion space. Zoha is an amazing artist and fashion video producer and maker, a great creative leading the Pakistani market. And with Maya Dio, we have a longer relation as well regarding the branding campaigns and how AI is being used in the fashion and lifestyle companies right now. So regarding our topics today, it will be the latest trends, but we'll also dive in a little bit into the personal stories and experiences of the speakers. I'm very happy that we managed to put this all together. I will share my screen. Okay. I'm sharing the screen. Can you confirm you see it?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Thank you.
Everything's great. I will let you know when it's time for the speakers. That's how we will go today. We'll do a little intro. Then we'll have 3 speakers having around 5-6 minutes to talk about the topics. And at the end, we're gonna have a 10 minutes discussion where we're gonna go through the topics at hand and looking for more interesting insight of experiences of the speakers. So XAI-Drip itself, it's an interdisciplinary project. We are building a magazine book. There will be a brand connected to it and a subscription for digital fashion. So that will be something wait a second. That's gonna be important for us on the journey. What we did already, we organized a few showcases. For example, in Lisbon, where I'm currently living, during the NFC Lisbon, we had a cube show. You can see it on the screens. It was an amazing opportunity to share. It was an amazing opportunity to share our talents and share our AI-driven editorial. We also had an amazing show in Algarve, Portugal. On the big stage, we had a fashion show together with Metaverse Fashion Council. As you can see it right now, we had a digital fashion show, we had a digital fashion show, and we created visuals for DJ Ape, one of the Bored Ape owners, collectors, who is an amazing DJ and is creating awesome parties. Here you can see the photos also from our fashion show, also a show in Lugano, Switzerland, organized with Hani. These are the examples of art that was prepared for the DJ Ape. You can see different artists had different different take on his figure. You can also see Zoha Khan work. I think she will tell a little bit more about this at the later stage. So yeah, my name is Simon. I'm the founder of XAI-Drip and Maison DAO, and I'm looking forward to your connections. Be super open to invite me to your network. And we are starting with the panel stage. The first will be YIQIN. Please, you can unmute yourself, and we're gonna start with your first screen.
Hello, Simon. Thank you so much for introducing us. Yeah. So, hello, guys. It's really nice to meet you all in the Metaverse. It's amazing. So, let's dive right in. And I want to share with you some latest trend that I've checked and experienced as a user perspective and through some lens of Gen Z, because I'm one of Gen Z. So the first trend I would like to discuss is UGC, because I think it's really incredibly powerful and unique, and the most important thing is it's really fun how I felt it. So for example, Roblox, they have a fashion game called Dress to Impress, and it's one of the most successful fashion game on Roblox. That's why I wanted to share it with you. And then you can see on the screen, they're very visually appealing. And one interesting thing I found is they reflect the real life fashion trend quite well, like Y2K or real life social media influencer style. Yeah, so could you go to next page? Thank you. And you can see, there are so many reviews or viral content on social media like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram.
Sorry, dear. Can you just wait a second, because we have the connection problem, so I did not share the screen. So I would like to really go through everyone. Now everything was shared in the special right now. Can you also introduce from a little bit beginning? Thank you so much.
Okay, so we start from the first, or shall I keep going?
Yes, I think you can start again just to make it.
Yes, we are ready, so you can start. Sorry for the interruption. So we are ready.
Okay, good. So like, yeah, so I was trying to talk about Roblox Dress to Impress game because it's one of the most successful fashion game on Roblox nowadays. And like their visual is really nice. Like one interesting thing I'd like to share is they reflect the real life fashion trend very well. Like some fashion influencer style that you can see on Instagram or some Y2K fashion as in these example images. And then like you can do the fashion content with your friends, and then like users, they really love it. And like if we go to another slide, like Simon, could you go to the other slide? Thank you. And like you can see, like there are so many reviews or so many content about them on YouTube or TikTok or even on Instagram. So like usually it's very useful, and then I can feel that those like Roblox users are really into this game. So that's why I wanted to show you. And if we go to other slide. Yeah, and like I was really interested in those Roblox avatar shop, and like it basically they show the best and best like beautiful outfits there, so you can try it out and you can like buy if you want. And like those avatar shop style is very like the most popular style in Roblox, like doll or Y2K as well. It's really beautiful. And those kind of avatar shop made by like users and is going really popular. And then like I can feel why it's going well, because they like kind of collected all those beautiful outfit there. So that, yeah, so that's for that. And then can we go to other slide? Yeah, so I was also wanted to share you some AI fashion trend on Instagram. So like I've realized that there are many points like aesthetic, inspiration account, or some concept design, or even some memes. For example, this account called Arada, they make everything pink basically. Like they like dress of Spider-Man or Batman with this like pink and cute outfit, and people really like to share it. So this is also like one interesting thing that AI driven this fashion trend. And if we go to other slide, there is another account called Rick Dig, and he's quite popular, and you can see a lot of fashion meme that he created with AI, like those recently the Coperni airbag or some other memes that which was going viral on YouTube or social media. So there was some like unique case that I wanted to share. And like, can we go to the slide? Thank you. And like lastly, I want to talk about this Y3K fashion trend. And Y3K is fashion trend that it seems like it comes from like 300 years, like in some digital age, basically. Like it looks very futuristic, very like digitally, and it's kind of mixed with digital and real. And like if you are really into social media and into fashion and youth culture, I'm pretty sure that you saw on your feed as well, because I see it like every day. And it's really fascinating. Those like UGC creator, they make a lot of beautiful and like very futuristic items or style. So I would like to share this inspo. Like there are some shops like Extended Identity or like Off Guard. They make a lot of beautiful eyewear or Air Max case design. And not only creator, but like big brand like Autolinger or even like Balenciaga recently, they made like some futuristic eyewear. So yeah, this is really interesting case. And on the last slide, another slide. Thank you. Like there are many creator like Davina India, for example. She make 3D printed corset or some 3D printed item, which looks very Y3K. And like her content, if you can see, is going very viral. And it's really beautiful and influencer style, but at the same time, it has some digital touch. So yeah, it was really interesting. I wanted to share it all with you. I think that's pretty much for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, YIQIN. We will come back in discussion to the next topic, but I wanted to ask you right away if you can answer the question. Just wanted to ask, what made you interested in the digital fashion topic? Because your research is really amazing. You're showing us very cool things. Yeah, your report also got a lot of traction. So just wanted, yeah, for people to know what made you got this interested in the field.
So yeah, sure. So like I worked at some traditional fashion company before, and I was always looking for like what can be the next trend on fashion, and I was like searching it every day. And then like I found it and realized that okay, so the next trend in fashion is digital. And I checked it, and it was so fascinating for me because like in Web3, every individual, they can like show their creativity in unique way. And then like everything looked very emerging and trendy, so I was like fall in. So yeah, that's why I decided to work in this field.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That's great for us, for designers, for founders in the space, to see that people are super excited about what we are building here. Thank you so much, and we of course gonna come back into the discussion. Now the next speaker is Zoha Khan. Please, you can start. But yeah, we are, I think, all fans of your talent, and it's amazing to hear a little bit more about your story.
Hi, you guys. Can you guys hear me well? Okay, perfect. So I'm Zoha, and I am a digital fashion designer. I'm also the founder of Cult Alara. I started digital fashion back in like early 2021, and that was also kind of sort of my first corporate job, and I did not know about this field before. And it was very, very interesting because I was doing fashion illustrations at that time, and I did not know that later on in my career, I would be merging the two fields together and, you know, coming up with a very unique aesthetic that I have today. So I've had collaborations with Digital Fashion Week. I've been invited to the British High Commission, and I've also been on national television. So that was quite something. So let me start with the first milestone that you could say that I had was when I made the first digital fashion collection in Pakistan, in the country. And it was kind of surreal because at that time, my bosses were like, this was something that cannot be done. And it would not be, you know, received correctly by the audience because yes, it was very, very early. This was in February 2022. So you can imagine like even globally, it was a very new phenomena. And in Pakistan, in a third world country, it was too new at that time. But we still pushed the boundary, and we released the collection, and it was very, very amazing. The response was really good. Like we did not even expect like a single purchase since everything was on avatars and nothing was shooted in real life. So that was quite an achievement. And after that, I realized that if I can do the production and handle everything from A to Z myself, then I think it's time to, you know, get out of the corporate world and, you know, start my own journey. And that is when I found Digital Fashion Week. And I've been with them since September 2022. That's where I launched. But like, that's when I actually found that fashion films is also a route that I could take in this field. And I came up with a film, and that was my first time using Unreal Engine. And it was really, really fun. If you could see on the next slide, I've been part of Fashion Week regularly, and some of you might have even seen my work. And I also recently launched my startup Cult Alara through Fashion Week last September, and it was pretty. I had a really good response from most of you guys, and I'm really excited to take things forward. And throughout my journey, I've also had you know, attention from fashion illustrator groups, and I won Fashion Futures Award from FIDA Worldwide. And that was the community that I had my eyes on, like since I was in you know, doing my undergrad, and being seen by them was like a very fan moment for me. So in the next slide, you'll see the visual that I submitted and the response that I got on it. And it was really, really surreal for me. Like to this day, if I have like even a minor achievement, it's like, I call it surreal because it's not something that I saw myself doing like, you know, 4 years from now, but I see myself in this field for probably the rest of my life. So that is, I feel like that's the power of digital fashion, because most of us were not this is a new field, and most of us are not even from a physical fashion background. Me, for instance, academically, I've studied marketing and merchandising, so I did not know how to make a pattern. I did not even know I'd be good at, digital software. So it's quite a revelation, and having a very warm community that has similar, if not the same stories, is also very, very, it's very warm to be in that kind of a situation. And later on, I also won a nomination in for Best Web3 Fashion Film as Fashion Film Festival Milano. If you see in the next slide, you'll see a bit of visuals of it. So this was the film Identity was basically about the identity crisis that is faced by South Asian immigrants, and like immigrants in general. Honestly, this was mostly focused on the Mughal era. So that is why I say it is about South Asian immigrants, but immigrants in general, because the sense of identity is very much flawed, because you do not know where you belong and who do you associate with, and just who are you, because you look like someone but you talk like someone else. So it's just it's very hard to find your own footing in a very, very judgmental world. So we see how this person goes from a very disturbed background to a very self-aware, strong, independent footing, and that's what the film is about. And I'd really love if you guys could see it later on, but we'll move forward to an amazing collaboration that I had with Simon, and it was for the DJ Ape's first European concert at the Blockdown Festival, and this was the first time that I was collaborating with a music related field, and it was quite fun. It was quite fun. This was actually the first time that I integrated a bit of AI in my work, and it was quite fun to just execute and see how it went by. And this was a very, very it was a tight deadline, but we made it through. And after that,
it was amazing. It was amazing, and inclusion of AI into this project was really on point, like a perfect combination of digital fashion and AI. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much, Simon. Moving forward, I've also had experience with the Fashion Design Expo at Africa. I've trained a bit of people there. It was a really nice community, and I really love expanding my network to different cultures and horizons. And it was it was a very good two-way learning experience. And later on, I had a lot of press coverage, which is kind of overwhelming since I'm not the kind of person who likes to show my face a lot. But that was the point when I realized that it's very important for, if you're becoming a brand, it's very important to kind of attach your face to it, because since everything is very tech-based and AI, so people need to be associated with a human also in this world. So it was something that, helped me get out of my bubble. So that's about it. And then, yes, we will also be talking about, in the next slides, we'll be talking about the challenges that I faced, because since it was a very, very new field, and I was one of the first people doing it here, so till this day I face a lot of problems and making people understand what the field is about. Because whenever I go to people like on the top hierarchies, they're mostly boomers or later generations from them, so most of them mistake digital fashion as graphic designing, and I have to smash my head on the wall, but I try to be patient and explain it to them. So through that process, I did realize that showing visuals is very, very important, because that is how digital fashion emerged, right? Because we wanted visual aid to streamline the sampling process. So that was very, very, helpful. So taking that concept and ideology in mind, I started, telling people about digital fashion using the work that I did, and show them and kind of demonstrate, for example, in terms of AR, put a filter on them, and then show it to them how to use it and what the possibilities are. Because if you do know, because you guys would know that converting a person who's not even in the Web3 ecosystem, not even NFTs in general, it's very, very hard to convert them. And right now we're at this point where we want people to be converted into this this ecosystem, because this is what the next 20 or, even like next 10 years is going to be about. So it's, telling more people about it, it's going to increase our value. So that's the point. I feel like that's the mindset that we have to, focus on. And that's how we should just generally have, in our heads before we, go to somebody and be like, oh, I'm a digital fashion designer. They'd be like, fuck off. So I have to tell them what I do, how it happens, and why is it that I do it. Not just because I love it, because it has a lot of potential. So that way I also had a lot of networking opportunities. And I believe that since everything's so digital, everything is just so, perfectly accessible. So it's why not just network with a lot of people, because you don't have to be there physically. The geographical boundaries have been ripped off. So it's really easy for people to communicate, people to collaborate. Like I wouldn't know Simon, but it's the ecosystem that you're in, and the passion, the thirst that you have to be somebody and get out of your comfort zone. That's very, very important. Networking is very crucial if you want to grow. And in terms of AI, how we could integrate it into digital fashion would basically just be that AI is the ideation and the concept. AI will never replace you, because it will not be able to do a correct 3D visualization of the concept. It would not be able to make the perfect patterns. It would not be able to do the production, but it would be able to give me the idea, the concept. For example, if I have a creative blockage, I could always type in something on chat, or I could do, I could go to DALL-E or some other platform and just type a prompt and get an idea, Rather, it would be in my opinion, it would kind of be a replacement to Pinterest or, that sort of platforms where you do not look at other people's work, but you try to generate a new reference and then try to, replicate or elevate it into your 3D fashion. And then that's where it helps. It can help you in research and just double checking the facts. For example, if I want to introduce a new silhouette, and I was trying to do this in the past month, and I was like, it would be so hard for me to look up how many people have done it before and cross check it and see if it has been copyrighted or not. So I don't even know if it's accurate at this point, but hopefully it would be in the later years. So you could use chat to just ask if it has been done before. What is the little clause that I could change to copyright it? So stuff like that could be very, very powerful in the future. But again, just keep in mind the legalities, because I feel like with Metaverse booming and all of that, Web3, there are going to be laws, so keep an eye on that. I think I took a lot of time. I would shut up now.
Okay, no worries. Thank you very much for your input here. I think we are all big fans of your story, and being able to hear it here, it's amazing. So no worries. We move forward to Maya Gio right now. Maya, are you here?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me? All right, I assume you can. So first of all, thank you so much, Simon, for inviting me to the panel today. My name is Maya. I'm a brand designer, artist, and co-founder of Giovo. We are a brand design studio specializing in branding for fashion and creative tech companies. That's why I'm not a fashion designer as the other two panelists, but more on the graphic side, though very interested in the whole intersection of fashion tech. And one of the primary values in our work is innovation, and that's why we've been working on Web3 projects and also exploring the opportunities of new technologies and how we can apply them for our clients' projects. And since 2021, we've been specializing in fashion tech, working with big fashion brands like About You, Topshop, as well as startups like XAI Drip. And Simon, as you said, we've been already collaborating on a couple of projects, actually. And we are helping our clients to build their branding, positioning, and also digital product We've recently also launched our brand building bootcamp where Simon also participated and helped us a lot on the curriculum, where we support starting projects and guide them build their branding. And something about my personal background, I have 10 years of academic background in art and design, followed by 12 years of professional experience in branding, design, and technology. And my work has been recognized by competitions like the Red Dot Design Awards. Yes, thank you. The International Visual Identity Awards, and also Forward festivals where I had the pleasure to exhibit one of my artworks in their Moon exhibition in Berlin and Vienna last year. So when Simon invited me for the panel, I've gathered two main topics that I wanted to talk about today. And one of our recent client projects included building the AI shopping advisor for a major fashion retail shop, where we could explore the possibilities of AI, see also the current trends, build some new, hopefully, and ultimately enhance the user experience of the platform. And that's the first topic that I want to talk about, which is enhancing user experience for e-commerce brands with AI and digital fashion. So this is where my work comes together with fashion. And based on our experience in retail, we see that one of the first AI adoption for many fashion platforms are basically development of their in-house baked AI chatbots powered by conversational AI interfaces and databases supported by external partners like Google, for example. That was in our case with the platform that we've built. And as a variation of this, many brands are developing personalized styling recommendations in the form of AI shopping advisors. And basically, those technologies can really enhance the user experience and provide highly curated product results to the customers, which I think is very important, especially for the younger generation like Gen Z that we've mentioned already, because we see that there is a major consumer change behavior compared to millennials, for example. Another thing that we see in terms of technological trends is the image generation and digital fashion applied to retail, where brands can easily create product variations and generate product images with 3D models, though the projects where we work, usually models are still real people, but the clothing created and the different variations are using 3D and digital fashion, which actually saves a lot of time, effort, and resources. And anyone who is in production knows what usually what it takes to create all of those sources and product shoots. And this also brings me to the next topic that I want to briefly discuss, which is the enhanced shopping experience with AR and AI, which is also loved by the Gen Z. For example, the virtual try-on, we see that it's a very common trend lately, where it's not only a playful way to interact with the products, but also be able to showcase them on social media and in general in virtual environments. And we also see different customer behavior of Gen Z and Alpha compared to millennials, where they really prefer a little bit more gamified, playful e-commerce experience. They also like to save time, shop less, and really shop the things that they need. And that's why the technologies and approaches that I've mentioned really match to their needs as consumers. And that's it on my side. I'm really looking forward for the panel discussion, which will happen in a bit.
Yeah, we only have a few minutes left, but wanted to talk about one little thing. There is a new app coming, the F word, and at community.thefword.ai. It's possible to sign up for a fashion that will happen in Doha, Qatar. You can attend in present, but you can also attend online. The app is basically helping to create digital fashion with the help of AI, especially on the pattern side. So this is something that all the people that are following us right now and they want to be involved in the area, it would be a good way to start with some good recognition. So I invite everyone to sign up. And then going back to discussion, we really have only few little moments left. I wanted to ask everyone and each of you, what is something what excites you the most right now about the intersection of AI and digital fashion? Like one little thing that you like the most, and maybe it is something personal, maybe it's very important for your business. But what is this one little thing to end up the discussion? And first, I think Zoha, if you can let us know.
I think as an entrepreneur, all the things that I don't like to do, I make AI do that. So I think it's a really good secretary for me.
Yeah, obviously it's a great help. It's a great help in our processes as well. Every day, and we can use something to help bring the tasks. And now, Yevgeny, can you tell us what excites you the most? We've seen your presentation before, but if you can choose one thing.
Yeah, sure. So like I've seen for example, DressX, they recently launched AI fashion their technology, and I tested it out, and it was really interesting for me because like I felt this can be maybe like some future what people can experience AI with like digital fashion. So like you can use your creativity, and like Zoa said, of course it will not replace you, but still like if you have some maybe idea or creativity, AI, I think, can help you to express it. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say.
Awesome. That's amazing. And Maya, what excites you the most personally?
Yeah, I have to agree with both things that the other panelists said. And for me, I think in general, what I love about digital fashion and AI generated fashion is the playfulness, the gamification, and also maybe it's not only one, but the last thing is the production on demand and really producing highly personalized items for the individual.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's great. And if I would answer this question, I would say that what really excites me is that AI can really help us with sustainability, limiting the costs of production, making thanks to AI processes, making the production more attuned to the needs of the community. So we can make fashion much more sustainable using the tools that we have available right now, like AI, like blockchain, when you can have clear certification of products using NFC chips and then attaching NFTs to it, to see the whole journey of the item from the production to the final customer. So I think together with AI, if we apply all of these technologies together, we can actually achieve more sustainable future for our planet, more sustainable future for us as society. So in terms of creativity, of course, I really love what AI can do right now, but I also believe that AI in processes in the fashion industry, this is something that is a big game changer. And for example, we at the fashion show, we created a sustainable collection using recycled items. So that's what you can see here. These are basically items that are cut, destroyed, and reattached together. That's one of the ideas for the collections moving forward. Thank you very much. If you can have a little outro commentary, something for people to remember for us, maybe something for the designers that are building in the area, maybe something for the for the audience, and we're gonna end this right now. Maya, you can go first as a goodbye.
Thank you. I'm really wondering what I would like people to take away, at least from my talk, and I think that really from also the two topics that I've discussed, what really fascinates me about fashion tech and the different technologies that are currently being applied is really the enhanced user experience, and that we really see that at the end, as you said, it's not only about being creative, but at the end is a real impact for the end customer, which I really enjoy. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. It was great to have you here. Soha?
I think one thing that I would want anyone over here to take away would be that be tight with the communities, and even if you're like going for a different niche, even like we're going to have multiple niches now, not just like digital fashion is going to have a lot under the umbrella. So if you're trying to build something new, do find people like you, like-minded people, and build a community, because communities are very, very important.
Thank you very much. I totally agree. And thank you so much for your input today. And YIQIN, what are your last words?
Yeah, sure. So it was such an honor to join this amazing panel talk. And like as a digital fashion researcher, I would love to like research and check and experience all your like amazing works. And I see like every day such amazing work, and I would like to like know and help you. So yeah, like please keep showing me these amazing works, and I'll also would love to support you. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sure we're gonna all collaborate on one project or another, and we invite everyone to contact us if they want to collaborate, because collaboration is key, and we can only build this if we build it together. So thank you very much. Thank you to amazing speakers today. Thank you to our organizers from Fashion Metaverse Conference. We are very happy that we had this time today, and we are looking forward to the rest of the conference. Thank you so much.
So much, Simon and team. I think that was an amazing presentation and discussion panel. We're going to be taking a break from Zoom, because now we're going to be switching to spatial. The next two presentations are going to be taking place directly in spatial. So we are going to be back on Zoom. So the next session on Zoom starts at 4 p.m. Central European. So we'll restart Zoom at about 3:55. We have two speakers right now in spatial. One is Nova Loren. She's from New York. Also known as Supernova. She's a psychologist turned futurist, 15 years in style and tech, thought leader in Web3, founder of the Rain magazine, interviewed 100 celebrities, advisory board to the Metaverse Fashion Council, focuses on Gen AI, developed concepts for next generation immersive shopping. She's going to be speaking on the future role of fashion and AI, basically how it's going to be shaping the metaverse. And then after that, we have Dr. Martha Bockenfield, who's who's with me on multiple organizations, including the World Metaverse Council, WBAF, which is World Business Angels Federation. She has 3 decades in the financial sector, commitment to DEI. She's been a meta host to Choice LGBTQIA+, All-Star Women DAO, top 100 women for Women of the Future, top 5 women in tech in Europe, top 50 business visionaries, and she's also the founder to Femtopia and the CEO of Metaverse, where this is going to be screened from in spatial. So she's going to be talking about life in a new reality. We're going to be stopping the recording now, and we're going to be restarting Zoom at 3:55 Central European. Thank you very much, everyone.